You wake up before the alarm, not because you are rested, because your brain knows what is coming. Emails, notifications, calendar blocks, another day trading your hours for numbers. Here is the uncomfortable truth. You can earn more than your parents ever did and still feel further from freedom. That is not bad luck. That is the structure. Today, we dismantle something most people never question: the system that turns salaries into stability theatre. If income equals security, why are millions earning six figures still anxious? Why stress about rent, debt, or layoffs? And more importantly, why does earning more rarely fix it? Hold that question. We will come back to it, because the real answer is not obvious. Let us start with your reality, not theory. You have obligations pulling from every direction. Credit card balances quietly growing. Student loans lingering like background noise. Rent climbing faster than raises. Car payments locking you into monthly commitments. Retirement accounts you are told to trust. A credit score controlling your options. Interest rates rising. Inflation shrinking your purchasing power. And in the background, automation and artificial intelligence reshaping job security. This creates a constant emotional cycle: frustration, pressure, recognition. You work hard, you earn responsibly. Yet the distance between effort and freedom barely moves. Here is the reframe. You do not have a salary problem. You have a system trap problem, and it gets worse. Because the trap feels normal. Let us break it down simply. Imagine a bucket. Your salary fills it with water every 2 weeks, but the bucket has holes: housing, food, transportation, insurance, taxes, debt payments. The leakage feels invisible. So your solution seems obvious. Earn more water, but the holes expand too. You upgrade apartments, increase spending, take on new obligations, adjust lifestyle expectations. Now let us make it concrete. Say you earn $80,000. After taxes, maybe $60,000 reaches you. Housing absorbs $18,000. Transportation takes $9,000. Food and utilities cost $10,000. Debt and subscriptions take $7,000. Insurance and medical costs $6,000. You are left with about $10,000 before emergencies. That margin is your mobility. That gap decides wealth or survival. Here is the metaphor. Income is motion, margin is freedom, and this is where people get trapped. Wait. Zoom out for a moment. Pressure compounds in 3 layers. First, psychological programming. You were trained for predictability, schedules, bells, authority, rewards tied to compliance. Second, economic incentives. Stable employment equals success. Risk avoidance feels safe. Consumption signals progress. Third, behavioral bias. You anchor identity to visible markers: home size, car quality, vacation photos. Upgrading feels like advancement, but nobody tells you this. Those markers do not measure wealth. They measure obligation. Here is the danger. As lifestyle expands with income, changing direction becomes harder. That is where golden handcuffs appear, comfortable constraints. Let me tell you about Marcus. He is fictional, but realistic. Early 30s, software role, 6-figure salary, urban apartment, car lease, student loans mostly cleared. From the outside, success story. Then layoffs hit his industry. Not catastrophic, just uncertainty. He calculated his survival runway. 6 weeks. That is how long savings would last. Not reckless, just optimized for lifestyle, not resilience. Panic followed, sleep disruption, constant job monitoring, fear-driven decisions. He was not financially free. He was dependent on continuity. His turning point was not earning more. It was redesigning structure, downsized housing, cleared car obligations, built 6-month reserves, redirected raises into assets. Within 2 years, anxiety shifted, not gone, but replaced by optionality. Here is the lesson. Freedom is not income-based, it is dependency-based. At child-level simplicity, If you constantly need money to stay afloat, money controls you. At realistic numbers, a household needing $5,000 per month requires $60,000 per year just to exist. Everything above that shapes trajectory. At a visual level, you are not climbing a ladder. You are on a downward escalator. Standing still requires effort. Progress requires strategy. That is why raises feel invisible. They maintain altitude. They rarely create lift. Here is what most people miss. The system is not broken. It works as designed. Predictable workers create predictable markets. Predictable spending sustains cycles. Predictable dependency stabilizes institutions. Independence introduces volatility. Volatility is not incentivized. This is not conspiracy. It is alignment of incentives. Understanding this removes shame. You think, I am bad with money. But most people are not bad. They were never taught autonomy design. Awareness changes behavior. So what actually works? Not vague motivation. Frameworks. Step 1. Quantify survival baseline. Calculate exact monthly cost. No estimates. Precise numbers. Clarity reduces anxiety. Step 2. Widen margin deliberately. Reduce fixed commitments first. Margin compounds optionality. Step 3. Automate asset direction. Route surplus into investments immediately. Let systems carry discipline. Step 4. Build independence runway. 3 months minimum. 6 months transformational. 12 months life-altering. Confidence rises. Risk tolerance improves. Decision autonomy expands. Step 5. Redefine progress metrics. Track freedom indicators. Time control. Savings rate. Investment growth. Obligation reduction. These measure stability. Here is the second reframe. Wealth does not come from maximizing income. Wealth comes from minimizing dependency. That distinction flips strategy. When dependency drops, fear drops. When fear drops, decision quality rises. That is the invisible multiplier. Why does earning more not solve it? Because earnings alone do not change structure. Why do 6-figure earners feel pressure? Because obligations scale with income. Why does security feel elusive? Because stability is not optionality. Security means choices, not just paychecks. Here is the anchor. Salary is not the enemy. Employment is not failure. Participation is unavoidable. Passive participation is optional. You can operate within structures while engineering independence from them. If you do not design your trajectory, default incentives will design it for you. They are not optimized for your freedom. They are optimized for continuity. Next time income hits your account, do not just ask, how much did I earn? Ask, how much control did this create? That question changes decisions. Decisions change structure. Structure changes outcomes. Once you see the trap clearly, you stop escaping blindly. You start building exits intentionally. And that shift, more than income or titles, is where real financial autonomy begins. If this analysis helped you see the system with more clarity, subscribe. This channel focuses on financial psychology, structural incentives, and the practical mechanics behind building real leverage, not motivational noise. New breakdowns each week. Next, we're going deeper. We're mapping the exact transition sequence from income dependence to asset-backed financial stability, step by step, tactically. Because awareness is phase 1, execution is where outcomes change. I'll see you there.